Hello everyone. I hope that you are safe and sound, and I hope to see you soon. We are going to start with Unit 5 Human Values and Rights, Lesson 1 A Disabled Prodigy. As a first step, I want to define the word disability and tell you about the difference in meaning between disability and inability because some students do not know the difference between these two terms or when to use each term. Okay, so briefly, disability, it is a physical or mental impairment or deformation that limits a person's ability to perform daily activities, often long term. And it lasts for a long time. It can be also permanent, such as mobility issues or chronic illness. An example of disabled person is a blind person, a deaf person, a person who has paralysis, a short leg, etc. These people, they cannot live normally like us. They cannot perform their daily tasks. They need help. Okay? Inability refers to a general lack of skill, knowledge, or capacity to do something, which may be temporary or learned. So inability, it means that certain person is unable to perform or do a certain thing because he doesn't have the proper means needed to perform or accomplish a certain thing. Okay, so disability is not inability. Now back to our lesson. Our lesson is about a disabled prodigy. So disabled, now you know its meaning. Prodigy usually is a term used to describe a young boy who is very talented, who is highly talented. So this is our enigma. He is a disabled, talented boy. Okay? Now we are going to start reading to figure out why he was called prodigy. So this lesson is a mixture between disability and talent or intelligence. Sparsha, a 12-year-old singing prodigy who lives in the US, was born with almost 40 fractures. You know the meaning of fracture. It is the state of having a broken bone. He has given more than 45 performances in just the last year and a half. Sparsh, a capoeira, has written 10 songs. He has composed the music for most of them too. Sparsh is multi-talented, so as you see, he can sing and he can write songs. Also, he composes the music. He performs at community events and has appeared on local radio stations and television shows, besides hosting shows as an MC. MC, it means the master of ceremonies, yani the person who introduces the show and what is going to happen during this program or during the show. Okay? He can speak in 4 different accents. In English, he has written several poems, short stories, motivational or funny speeches, such as I am disabled. This is one of his speeches, etc. And acted in the developmental reading of a play called The Greatest Choice at the Crossroads Theater in New Jersey. So the introductory paragraph introduces the main idea of the text, which is about Sparsh Shah, his disability, and his multi-talents. Okay, it gives us background information and it grabs the reader's attention. So here the writer uses as an introductory paragraph. What do you think? What is the type of this introduction? I have already mentioned the purposes. Now concerning the type, because the introduction starts with a brief narration about Sparsh, about his disability, his talents, we can consider it an anecdote. Okay, so the writer uses an anecdote as an introductory paragraph. Okay? Hiren and Jiggy Shasha migrated to the US some 14 years ago. In 2003, when Sparsh was born, they could never have imagined their little boy would touch millions of hearts soon. His parents, however, could experience the joy of holding their baby only after 6 months of his birth. Sparsh had broken 35 to 40 bones while emerging from his mother's womb. Usually, when a mother gives birth to her baby, she can hold him instantly after birth, okay, and the father too. But for Sparsh, for his parents, sorry, they were unable to hold Sparsh. They were unable to enjoy this moment because he was born with 35 to 40 broken bones at the moment he came out. So he came out from his mother's womb, okay? So his parents migrated, it means his parents moved to the US. Sparsh was born with an incurable disease called osteogenesis imperfecta. This is the name of the disease. This condition makes his bones extremely fragile and brittle. Even a hard handshake can break his bones. So, from this clue, we can tell that the meaning of fragile and brittle, it means that his bones were very weak and easily broken. Okay? He cannot bear weight on his hands and legs, so he cannot walk or run like other normal kids. He has had more than 125 fractures in the first 12 years of his life already, and the doctors cannot predict how many more are to come. So imagine when he reached 12 years old, when he became 12 years old, okay, he had 125 fractures, and the number was estimated to increase. Okay, so if I want to talk about the thematic relation between paragraphs 2 and 3. What do you think? What is the relation between paragraphs 2 and 3? In order to identify the type of thematic relation between these two paragraphs, we have to look at the main idea of each paragraph. Okay? In paragraph 2, the writer briefly introduces Sparsh's disability, okay? What he had when he was born, his parents migrated to the US, okay? Then, in paragraph 3, the writer provides more details about his disability. He mentions the name of the disease. Also, he mentions what this disease means. And he also mentions how many fractures in his body he had at the age of 12 years. So paragraph 3 is giving additional information about Sparsh's disability. So the thematic relationship between these two paragraphs 2 and 3 is idea, support, reinforcement, addition. Okay? Now, in April 2015, Sparsh participated in and won the prestigious talent competition Young Voice of NYC and was honored to be made the youth ambassador for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. He now supports the hospital in spreading awareness about the fight against pediatric cancer. Pediatric cancer, it means the cancer that children usually suffer from, okay?